Hello, and welcome to this video today. We will walk you through and answer your frequently asked questions about awesome YouTube bot, AYB for short. So let's cut to the chase and get right into it. The awesome YouTube bot is a YouTube optimization software that mimics natural human behavior and interacts with your content on YouTube with the goal of improving your overall performance and ranking on YouTube. It has many ways to do so that we will walk through and explain in this video. Currently, there are many ways to send views to a YouTube video. One of the most common ones you might have heard of is SMM Panels. They are some web interfaces that you can submit orders on. They will send enormous amounts of views, for example, 100,000 views in a few hours to your video. Even though that may sound promising, it has a huge downside as these panels send their views via unofficial APIs. There is no information about the user, the browser, or the user's interaction with the video, and YouTube can easily detect that by its AI algorithms. But AYB, on the other hand, really mimics actual human behavior. That means it watches the video on YouTube exactly like you do. It opens the browser, watches the video, and interacts with it. It scrolls through the page like a real user and changes the playback speed, quality, and much more. Each browser that the bot opens will have a completely unique footprint that eliminates the risk of your channel getting blocked, flagged, or banned, and your views will be totally organic and real. Even though AYB can't send 100,000 views in a few hours because you cannot open 100,000 browsers in a short time, your views will be realistic and organic, so you should get authentic results and performance improvements on your channel. This is what differentiates the AYB from SMM Panels. The user interface is pretty straightforward. Here we have the Job panel. We can see the tasks that we add to the bot here. Down there, we can see the status bar and the progress bar, plus the Start button. On the top, we have our import buttons and the loop function. And on the left-hand side, we can tweak some settings and properties that we will explain in a few minutes. So let's add our first job. To do that, we will click on the Import Campaign button. And here, we want to send one view to a keyword and a URL. So a keyword should be written. It can be the name of your video as well. If you choose YouTube search as your preferred view source, the bot will use this for searching on YouTube and finding your video. So we will use the video title as the keyword here. And then we will add the URL. And we can set the duration here, and down there, we have an interesting section, View Sources. You can see different options as a view source that you can choose from. Suggested View, YouTube Search, and Google Search. So suggested videos will generate your traffic as the suggested videos in your YouTube dashboard. YouTube Search option will search your keyword on YouTube and will watch it through that, and Google will search your keyword on Google and then watches the video. Note that your URL should be indexed with the written keyword on Google to make this method work. You can set the playback speed and quality. We have different speeds and qualities, and if we want them to be chosen randomly, we can set it to random. Okay, so here's our first job. Along with changing your IP, you also need Google accounts to use this bot at its full potential. Why? Regarding views, we need them to prevent our views from getting dropped. And for likes, comments, and subscribers, we obviously need them because we cannot comment, like, or subscribe as a guest user. In terms of the number of accounts for likes and subscribers, we need as many Google accounts as we want to send likes or subscribers. For example, if we want to send 1,000 likes to one video, we will need 1,000 Google accounts, and the same goes for subscribers. But for views, even though the more accounts we have is better, we can get along with thousands of views with maybe about 30 to 50 Google accounts. And about accounts quality, the more aged and the more natural your account is, the better. For example, a 2-year-old account with an avatar photo and some watching history, it's way better than a freshly created account with no history. So if your accounts are not aged, we have something called warming up the accounts so that you can increase your Google account quality. You can let the bot watch some random videos with the account using different IPs. so you can build some watching history for the account. So in order to import our Google accounts into the bot, we need to have them in a text file with email and password separated by a colon. We can also have multiple accounts, and we should separate the multiple accounts by a line break, so we have one account per line. Here are some examples of the format you should use for importing your account. Then we click the Import Accounts button, and then Import from File, and we can select the text file, and we can see our accounts. Some Google accounts will have the recovery email as their verification method. So if Google detects a new IP, it'll ask for the recovery email. We can provide the recovery email to the bot using a pipe sign after the password and then typing the recovery email. So I will add a pipe sign and type the recovery email. This is an example of your recovery email, and we save the file again, and we import the file. Now, if Google asks us for the recovery email, the bot will provide the recovery email and passes the security challenge. One thing worth mentioning is how AYB stores and utilizes your Google accounts. When you try to import your Google accounts for the first time, the bot will try to log into your account, and if login is successful, the bot will store the cookies for the next usage. That means it doesn't have to log in each time it wants to use your accounts. One of the problems that some users may face is their views getting dropped, and there are some common reasons for it. The first reason, and most common reason, is the proxy. If we use blacklisted IPs, low-quality proxies, or free proxies from the internet, YouTube can detect them, and we will see drops in our views. Other than that, if our Google accounts are low quality, or even worse, you send views without any Google accounts, you will see drops as well. And also, the other common issue is viewing a video less than 30 to 40 seconds. YouTube ignores this kind of views. So if you see any drops in your views, first, check the common reasons, and in case you can't solve this problem, you can contact our support, and we will guide you through that. To submit comments to videos, we should define a list with our desired comments first. In order to create a comment list, we should click the Import Comments button, and we will see the Comments Manager window in the List Name section. We can write any name we want, so I will write List 1. And in the Comments section, we can write our desired comments, one comment per line, like this. So let's have some more realistic comments, like very cool video, awesome and interesting. And we can add them to the list by clicking the Add Comments button. And we can have multiple comment lists with our desired comments. And to add a comment job, we will select Comment as our job type. We will put the video URL in the URL field and the list name we want to use. The bot will randomly pick a comment from that and writes it to that video. We can also define the number of comments here. And finally, we will save this. To make our comments more dynamic, we can use a syntax called spintax. The way it works is very simple. We define a few words wrapped around two curly braces and separated by pipe signs, and the bot will randomly select one word from our list each time. Let's see this in action in the Comment Manager. If we wrap the word we want to use in curly braces and have some alternative words, for example, here I have cool, interesting, and amazing as my alternative words. And if I submit that each time the bot wants to send this line, it'll pick one of these words: cool, interesting, or amazing. So that's the spin syntax that you can use in order to have more dynamic comments. You can also import your jobs from text files. And that's the feature that AYB has. Even though you will have less control over your job parameters, it can be useful when importing multiple jobs at the same time. So in order to import the job from a text file, Obviously, you need a text file with this format first. You have a few action options like view, like, random act, comment, and subscribe. And we should use this format: keyword, pipe sign, URL, colon, action, which I forgot to add here, but I will add it in just a second, colon, view time or comment list, name colon count. So it sounds intimidating, but let's clarify this with an example. Let's create a job using this format. So we will have the keyword, and then the URL. If you don't have the keyword, you don't need the pipe sign. You will add just the URL, and then we will add a colon and the action we want. Here is the action I forgot to add. So we will add a column, and the action we want is a view in this case. So we will write view, and then we should write the view duration, the watch time. I will say 60 to 90 seconds. The bot will randomly choose a value from this range. And finally, we have our desired view count. Let's go with 15 here. And here we have this. Let me also demonstrate like. Let's make a like job. So here we will have the URL again. And the action is like. For example, we can send 2 likes. And here we can have a comment, and instead of view duration, we can write our comment list name. That's why it says view, time, or comment list name in the format section. So yeah, after we wrote our jobs, we can save the file and go to the import campaign section of the bot, import from file, and select the file. And here we have our job file imported via text file. In order to be more natural and realistic with our jobs in AYB, we can have various random activities between, before, or after our tasks. We call this function randomact. We have a random section when defining jobs. Also, we have a job type called randomact. So random act section in jobs will have some random activities before the actual jobs. For example, if you add random act to a view job, the bot will do some random activities before actually viewing your video. If we create a standalone random act job, the bot will do just random act. The standalone random act job is commonly used for warming up Google accounts. Okay, so let's add a random act job. We will add a view, job, enter our keyword and URL as usual, and keyword. And we will choose suggested video as the view source. Set playback, speed, and quality, and enable random act. Here we can find some view sources, recommended videos, trending videos, and short videos. So if I choose recommended videos, the bot will interact with these recommended videos from this section. In the case of short videos, the bot will interact with YouTube short videos. And if I choose trending videos, the bot will interact with trending videos. So here, we can choose a random view source. Also, we can like or dislike videos during the interaction. Or we can watch random videos with our keywords, which supports a spin syntax as we described in the comment section. You can use the same syntax here. The bot will choose one keyword each time and interact with the videos from that keyword. And down there, we have our random act duration. We can say do random activities between 60 to 80 seconds. So we added the random act job. We can also add a standalone random act job for warming up the account. If the account has low history, you can add the standalone random act job and let it run for a few hours with different IPs for the account to have more watching history. If you want to level up your jobs, there's a magnificent feature implemented that you can use. That's called nested campaigns. So what are nested campaigns? Let's imagine a real user interacting with YouTube videos. The user watches the video for a few minutes. They like the video, and maybe will also subscribe to the channel. They can even post a comment in the comment section. You can simulate all of these in the bot by nesting and combining tasks. You can have a view job like view for 20 to 30 seconds. Then you can like the video and have another view job for another minute. Then you can have a subscribe job after that. And finally, you can have the comment job, and all of them will happen in just one browser at the same time. So it's very realistic. And it can be a real game changer in terms of being realistic and anti-detection. So in order to add nested campaigns to the bot, first, we will add our primary job as the first job. So we will again write our keyword and our URL as usual. And we can click the Add Task button and add another campaign. But notice that we don't have any count here after the send. There is no number. So the number of likes, for example, that we want to send for this video is equal to the number of the first task that we added. So if in the first task the number is 100, the number of likes will be 100. So keep that in mind. You should define the number of your nested campaign on the first job that you add. So you can add the same URL here. The bot views the video for 30 seconds and then likes the video. And we can set the count in the first job. There is no count in the second job, and we can have as many nested campaigns as we want, and we can delete them using the delete button. And if we hit Save Campaign, we have our nested campaign here. So all of these actions will be executed in one browser session, and this is so powerful, guys. We need to change our IP in order to being able to send views, likes, comments, or subscribers. And we have different IP changing methods available, and each of them has its pros and cons. I'm going to go through them very quickly and explain the pros and cons so you can have a better understanding of the IP changing features. We have proxy, VPN, Android phone mode, and bridge mode. Proxies that most of you should be familiar with are servers that we can gather, import to the bot, and use. There are some proxy providers that you can get proxies from. And we can use multiple proxies at the same time, and it'll change your IP by using proxies. Next, we have VPN. So if you have a VPN, like NordVPN, HMA, Windscribe, or other providers, you can use that same VPN to change your IP. It may be financially effective and efficient, but as we just added this feature, we're not sure about the performance and the impact on the channel, so it's experimental, but we think it's worth having for some of the users. But the thing about the VPN is we cannot run multiple VPNs, unlike proxies that we can use multiples of them at the same time. We can only connect to one IP at the same time, and we have only one IP. That means we can have only one browser working at the same time, or multiple browsers doing views, but for different videos. But with proxies, we have multiple IPs at a time. So VPN is more cost-efficient, but it has this limitation of one IP. Proxies are a bit more expensive on the other hand, but you can use multiple IPs at the same time, so you can send more views in less time with proxies. So let's import some proxies into the bot. In order to import the proxies into the bot, I will have my proxies in a text file. Here are my proxies. They don't require any username and password. We will disable the ping filter, select our format. For example, my format here is IP:port. So here, I will select the IP:port format and my proxy protocol, which is HTTPS in this case. And I import the proxies, and I close the window, and here I have my proxies imported. But some proxies will require username and password, so you can define them in various formats. Here I use the user:pass. I will select my file, but the proxies did not import, so I will choose the correct format. User:pass at IP:port. And I import the proxies again, and my protocol, in this case, is HTTPS. You can select your own protocol, and we will see our proxies being imported into the bot. Sometimes you may want to use rotating proxies. Usually they have rotating URLs that you can provide to the bot, and the bot will rotate the proxies. It will rotate the IPs by calling that URL for you after each task. In order to provide the rotating URL, you can specify the rotating URL like this with a pipe sign. So you have a user pass at sign IP port, and then a pipe sign, and you have your rotating URL. This way, the bot will rotate your proxies after each view. So we select the format, disable the ping filter, and here the bot now has our rotating URL. So that's how we import proxies into the bot. First of all, you should have OpenVPN installed, but we'll guide you regarding that your first time. So for the VPN, if you have NordVPN, the process is basically automatic. And if you get your OpenVPN username and password from the NordVPN and dashboard, you can just put your username and password and you will be good to go. If you use any other provider that supports OpenVPN, you will need your username and password, and you should get the OpenVPN configs from your provider and use the manual mode. So let's go over VPN and how to use VPN with the bot. So first, here's the NordVPN mode. We can select the country. If you don't see any countries, you should see a load button. If you press the load button, the countries will load. You can select the protocol TCP or UDP. You should enter the VPN username and password that you got from your provider and hit save, and you're good to go. The bot will change your IP using VPN. Here's how to use VPN in manual mode. I have some configs that I got from my provider, so I will create a folder. For now, I will just create it in the app's main directory in order to keep things organized. So I name my folder configs. You can name anything you want, and I just paste the configs in. Okay, here I have my config in this folder. And I go to manual mode. First, it asks me about the config folder that I will select. So here, I select my config folder and provide my username and password. And here I have this option to disconnect from the process when the VPN disconnects. I can use this checkbox for that. And I hit save, and I'm good to go. And lastly, here are some tips for getting the best of the bot. You must watch the video for at least 30 seconds. You have to use at least one Google account when sending views. It's good to have residential IPs, whether it's from proxies or other IP-changing methods. Use nested campaigns and Randomact to have more natural interactions, and it's good to warm up your Google account with Randomact. That was it for the video, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You can visit us at www.dalga.dev or leave us a comment down below if you have any further questions. See you!